So, okay, before we address the question of what is metaphysical truth and the framework for that, let's talk a little bit about Kripkean semantics. First, I want to warn you that my writing is really bad and my spelling is also really bad. So, yeah, try using Google or ChatGPT for the spelling, okay? But, okay, so Kripkean semantics. So Kripkean semantics really help us talk about modal claims. Modal claims basically are claims about necessity and possibility. So, so if you let's say one example of modal claim would be that it's necessary that 2 plus 2 equals to 4, right? Uh, and so that's a modal claim because you have the word necessity in it, right? Or or what if someone say that it's possible that Hillary Clinton could have won the presidential election in 2016, right? That seems to be something that is within the realm of possibility. So, Kirkpatrian semantics is really about understanding statements, statements where there is words like necessity or possibility in it. So, so Kirkpatrian semantics is about trying to translate or reinterpret these modal claims that contains necessity and possibilities into statements that are maybe more understandable, but I suspect that maybe more mysterious, but more understandable, but maybe more simultaneously more mysterious. That being said, there are some primitive concerning European semantics. One of which is the notion of a possible world. So, possible world is one of these topics that are really like there's a whole bunch of commentary on it, and we're not really gonna delve too much onto it. Okay, but if you want a definition of what a possible world is what I'm gonna tell you, right? Which is a possible world is a complete way the world might have been, a hypothetical scenario or history. Let me repeat again. A possible world is a complete way the world might have been, a hypothetical scenario or history. A So there's a possible world in which, say, Hillary Clinton might have won the 2016 election. So there might have been a world in which, say, Donald Trump was never president of the United States. There might be a possible world where pigs can fly, right? It's debatable whether or not pigs can fly, but it seems to be something that is in the realm of logical possibility, in the realm of hypothetical scenario that pigs can fly. Maybe a world in which the dinosaurs never get eliminated, 65 million years ago by an asteroid. So that's what I mean by a possible world. Basically, a complete way the world might have been. A world in which, say, the dinosaurs still existed. The world in which, say, Donald Trump was never president of the United States, etc., etc. Right? Now that we have that primitive, namely the possible world idea, now we can start making sense of modal claims like necessity and possibilities, right? So when a philosopher said, or when someone say, well, it's necessary that P, what they really mean, the statement, well, it's necessary that P means that you could find P true no matter which possible world you consider, right? So again, quote, it is necessary that P, end quote, means you would find P true no matter which possible world you consider. So basically, P, the statement P, in this case, P would be a statement, would be true in all possible worlds you're considering. All right? That's powerful if you think about it, right? Now, when we translate this statement, a modal claim about necessity, to a claim about possible worlds, where a statement P is in some sense bound by the world, and that its truth value is set by a world, right? So P is true in a world, right? And it could be true in one world, but false in another world. So to say that P is true or P is necessary, true, is to say that P is true in all possible worlds. All right? Okay. So now let's look at another type of modal claim, right? No modal statements is when I say is possible that P. Well, it means that at least one conceivable world exists where P holds. Right? Let me repeat again. The modal claim, quote, it is possible that P, end quote, means at least one conceivable world exists where P holds. Right? What that means is that there is at least one possible world where P is true. Right? So it's possible that P is equivalent to that there is at least one possible world where P is true. Okay. Now let's translate the modal statement or the modal phrase necessarily true. Necessarily true in this sense would be true in all possible worlds, right? If something is say necessarily true, it's true in all possible worlds. So let's use that in an example, right? So 2 plus 2 is equals to 4, right? We all know it's true. But there's a sense in which 2 plus 2 equals 4 is not just true, but it's necessarily true. So then we say that 2 plus 2 is equals to 4 is necessarily true. But then you can ask, well, what does that even mean? Well, according to this insight, right, we can translate that modal claim to be such that 2 plus 2 equals to 4 is true in all possible worlds. Is that more illuminating or less illuminating? I'm not certain, but that's how it works, right? And, we structure, we formulate modal claims to claims about possible worlds. So that's an example of 2 plus 2 equals to 4. Another example is this example, right? Is if it's raining, then it is raining, right? So if it is raining now, if it's true, then it is raining now. There is a sense in which that this is true, no matter what. If it's raining now, then it is raining now, right? It's not just true in this world, but true in all possible worlds, all conceivable scenarios. If that's the case, if you have that gut intuition that it's not just true in this world, but true in all possible worlds, then you can say that that this is necessarily true. So you can say that it's necessarily true that if it's raining, then it is raining. Similarly, if it's true that it is raining, then it is raining. It's the same thing as saying if it's raining, then it's raining is true in all possible worlds. So, possibly true. This is true, by the way. Possibly true. True in at least one possible world. So, to say that something is possibly true is to say that there is at least one world in which it is true, or true in at least one possible world. So, an example of this is Hillary Clinton winning the U.S. election in 2016. She didn't because Donald Trump did, but we can conceive of a possible world in which Hillary Clinton wins the 2016 election, right? So because we can conceive of a world, possible world in which Hillary Clinton wins the 2016 U.S. election, then we can say that it's possibly true that Hillary Clinton wins the 2016 U.S. election. Okay. So how about another example? Pigs can fly, right? Pigs can fly. Um, we pigs in our world doesn't fly, but conceivably you can imagine that there is a possible world where the laws of physics might be different, where the pigs are maybe have wings. Maybe pigs in those worlds can fly. If you do have that intuition that pigs can fly in, say, a universe or a world where the laws of physics is different, pigs can fly in those universes, then you can say, and you can translate that into a modal claim that possibly true that pigs can fly, or 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 pigs can fly is possibly true. So, what's the point of all this? We start with the question of what is metaphysical truth, and we are talking about, you know, Kripkean semantics of translating between modal claims and possible world claims. Right. I think the point is this: we are trying to give a precise language to interpret modal statements, and when we talk about P is metaphysically necessary or metaphysically necessary true, we are really talking about claims about possible worlds, right? When we say that P is metaphysically necessary and true, we are talking about not just P being true in our world, but in all possible worlds, and that's why we want to talk about Kripkean semantics. Kripkean semantics is saying that when we see the word necessity and possibilities, we need to translate it into claims about possible worlds. Well, when we talk about metaphysical necessity, well, the word necessity is there. So when the notion of metaphysical necessity is a modal claim. So we formulate metaphysical necessity to to a claim about possible worlds. So when we say that P is metaphysically necessary and true, right? We are saying that P is true, or i.e. P is a statement here, is true in all possible worlds.